Mr. Greenwood. Mrs. Irwin Adams.
Here.
Mr. Johnston. Mr. Francis. Mrs. McGinnis. Mr. Cook.
Here.
I'd like to announce that prior to this meeting, we had an executive session. And prior to hearing from citizens, we have an addendum to the agenda.
The following items are adjustments to the personnel agenda. Revisions. Administration requests the removal of election number 7, listed on a personnel agenda under non-instructional due to other contractual obligations. 2, administration requests the removal of the change of classification number 5, listed in the personnel agenda under non-instructional due to a resignation from the district. Also, we request that the following resignations be added to the agenda. From instructional, Mr. Connor Chusky, middle level English instructor, Altoona Area High School. Effective date to be determined in accordance with section 1121 of the Pennsylvania Public School Code. Mr. Chusky is being held for 60 days or until a suitable replacement is found. Second, Ms. Alyssa McCombie, middle level science instructor, Altoona Junior High School. Effective date to be determined in accordance with section 1122 of the Pennsylvania Public School Code. Ms. McCombie is being held for 60 days or until a suitable replacement is found. Finally, under non-instructional, Ms. Bonnie Delosier, progress monitor, administration, federal programs. This is a resignation effective September 16th, 2022.
Okay, we have a motion to add this addendum to our agenda. Is there a second? Seconds. Any discussion? Okay, those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, now we'll hear from citizens. Anybody wishing to address the board, please go to the microphone, tell us your name, whether you live in the school district, and you'll have 5 minutes to speak.
Hey, good evening. My name is Matthew Stagmus. I live here in Altoona, and I was just wondering, it's my first time coming to the school board since it's been in a new location, and I didn't realize there wasn't going to be like a designated room for school board meetings. And so my mom and a lot of her close friends are members of the class of 1966. Of course, they had voted, and it was agreed upon to have our national motto placed in the school board room, which we no longer have a school board room. So I'd just like to find out where that is going to be placed, someplace where the public and the students will have access to it on a regular basis, since there doesn't appear to be a set place for school board meetings at the current time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishing to address the? Okay.
Can you answer his question?
Yes.
If the board so chooses. It will either be placed in the board conference room in the administrative offices, either that, or it will be in the lobby of the tax office down in the administrative building.
That's not a place where the students really have access to, is it, per se?
Well, those are they're public places that see a lot of traffic on a daily basis.
Okay. Let's go to the regular meeting. First, we have approval of the August 1st, 2022 regular school board minutes. We have the approval of the August 15th regular school board minutes. Do we have a motion on those items? Is there a second? Discussion? Those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? List of payments under finance. A, we have list of payments. B, we have the financial reports. C, the Blair County 911 agreement. D, ASA for pharmacy data collection project. And E, Central Blair Rec Commission. Is there a motion on those items? Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Item E, I'm fine with
allowing the Central Blair Rec to use our facilities, but I don't think we should be spending the taxpayers' money on the, now that they're a 501c3 and a nonprofit. I think they should be more self-sufficient. It's just my
They
opinion.
aren't 501c3 yet because we didn't give them indemnification. I'm just saying, so as of now, we're still one of the 3 entities that comprise the Central Blair Rec.
We're in status quo as far as that progress towards that at this point.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, those in favor of approving those items, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Same sign. Education. A, we have the St. Francis Cooperative Agreement. B, the Memorandum of Understanding between the AAHS and Special Olympics. C, the Beacon Light Agreement. D, a teacher conference for soccer. E, secondary field trips. F, volunteer approval. G, AEDY agreement with Hollidaysburg. H, teacher induction mentors. I, a memorandum of understanding with Child Advocates of Blair County. And J, PCCD, school safety and mental health. Is there a motion on those items? Is there a second? Okay, discussion?
Can somebody just remind me what the Beacon Light Agreement is? I remember seeing it before, but
That is an agreement between us and Beacon Light. They provide services to our students when they are assigned to facilities via the court, and we have to have a cooperative agreement with them.
We've only had a handful of students fall into that agreement in the last few years. It's very rare.
Okay, any other discussion?
Item D, the license for Derek Winterburn. Is there any commitment from him to continue to coach for the next how many years?
The only expense that we have is a substitute teacher. He's paying for his entire trip. He's paying all his expenses. And I don't have a commitment. No, I have not worked in a contractual commitment from him. I would like to assume that he is planning on staying. You would know far more than I would.
Okay, any other
I don't
discussion? Okay, those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Personnel items. That includes the addendum.
Yes.
A, personnel agenda. B, pre-employment clearances for ASCME. C, the Chromebook day user support. Is there a motion on those items, including the addendum? Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
yes, the Chromebook day user support, that's not something that can be taken care of during the normal school day, because I'm assuming those students have to leave at the end of the day.
They do. So here is our challenge, and we're looking for no more than a half an hour per day. Because of where students are and where the Chromebooks will be stored, we have a significant increase in the number of day users due to students owing fine and or missing or damaged equipment. So we have a couple of hundred students at the high school that will be getting their Chromebooks in the morning and then returning them at the end of the day. We would have to dismiss them from probably 10 to 15 minutes of instruction at the end of 8th period and release and cover a teacher to be able to do that consistently. What we're asking for is to be able to do it properly and to be able to do it in a way that's going to make sure the kids are accountable and that we maintain order of those devices, to have a teacher between because our students aren't done till 2:40. Teacher contract day is ended at 2:45. And that 5-minute time frame is not enough time to get all the devices adequately collected and plugged in and have our teachers released at the appropriate contractual time. The half an hour each day will give us a window at the beginning of the day and the end of the day for students to be able to pick up their device and then return their device and have it plugged in properly at the end of the day. And once again, the motivation here is that we are trying to recover hundreds of thousands of dollars of technology fines. And we're hoping that this will motivate our students and families to make good faith payments and allow us to issue them a Chromebook that they can take home as opposed to being a day user.
But we couldn't like have somebody do it as their like, I don't know, principal assignment or, and like I know at the junior high, there are certain people that come in 30 minutes early for whatever duties, and then they're allowed to leave like at a certain time. Could we work something like that so we don't have to pay?
The challenge is at the end of the day, because without losing instructional time from all of those kids having to leave their 8th period early, it's a matter of the timing of it. So we'd have to have kids starting to leave class at 2:25 if they were in the B building for 8th period.
I just mean like, couldn't a teacher come like 15 minutes late and stay 15 minutes to help with that?
We can, but their time frame would be, I understand, so have them start their day at 7:30 and end at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
We could, but then that would take someone away from arrival checks and security checks and homeroom duty, all of the things that we have in the morning that those teachers are responsible for. This will more than pay for itself if we're able to recover fines from the students that owe and have to be a day user. So this is an effort to number one, be fiscally responsible and holding students and families accountable for damaged and/or devices and fines, but it also gives us the opportunity to be able to do it in a way that will allow students to still be issued a Chromebook during the day and then return it at the end of the day. Because the management, they're gonna have to go into a cart.
Well, I understand that. I just didn't, I figured maybe we could work it with one teacher and.
And it's
figure
gonna
it
be
out.
one teacher, like it will only be one teacher. We've talked to a couple of different ones that are willing to stay that additional time. We just can't mandate it after the 2:45 end of contract day unless we modify their contract day at the beginning of the day. And most of the people have responsibilities between 7:15 and 7:30 to get the day started. Now, this gentleman's responsibility will be Chromebook distribution between 7:15 and 7:45 on his contracted time. It will be the time at the end of the day to be able to manage those and put them back at the end of the day.
Okay, and what about, sorry, I'm just,
It's okay.
what about like the technology department? There's nobody there that works until 3:30?
We have a technology person who's doing other things. He does the help desk. So kids are going there if they have issues with their Chromebook, password resets, having a device issue, whatever it may be. His office is on the 2nd floor outside of the library, and he's assisting with students troubleshooting that as well. We also have students that we've trained throughout the day as part of their community service that are working that help desk as
Right.
well. So there's a
nobody
lot.
else from the department? I mean,
There's only one. We have one person that's assigned to the high school.
Okay.
Like we have one person at the high school, one at the junior high school who does something, similar, and we float between the elementary buildings for that purpose. And in his day, I believe 7 to 3:30, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, business operations. A, we have the capital reserve list of payments. B, the transfer of funds. C, parent transportation. D, the winter sports bid. E, the cafeteria adult meal pricing. We have a motion on those items. Is there a second? Okay, discussion. Okay, those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, let's move on then to facilities. Facilities and maintenance. A, we have the Washington and Jefferson parking lot replacement. B, roof replacement projects. C, the Juniata Gap window replacement. D, the clerk of the works. E, Penn Lincoln window replacement. F, Mansion Park ADA bleacher repair. G, the Penn Lincoln chiller. Do we have a motion on those items? So moved. Is there a second? Discussion.
Just on the clerk of the works, I didn't know this was being put out for bid, but we have a local company that's low bid, yet we're giving it to another company.
The problem is not the low bid, the problem is the potential for add-ons. You basically, Weber Murphy Fox is approximately, say, 5 hours of additional cost. But if there's any kind of crossover for clarifications, et cetera, that have to go to the designer, which was Weber Murphy Fox, we're Eads' number is easily going to blow over that because of the fact that they're not the designer. Any kind of RFI, et cetera, that has to be designed is going to have to be done by the designer, and they're going to bill us for it. And it's going to have costing us more in the long run than if we just look at this and say we're going to award it to Weber Murphy Fox.
So you have the designer is going to be clerk of the works, and we take their word that everything's fine. And we don't have an independent person other than from that group that's going to tell us everything's okay. Not that I don't trust them, but yeah, it just seems odd that you have the person who did the architectural work is going to be clerk of the works.
Doug, you want to add anything?
My only comment to that is that we've had Weber Fox acting that role in 5 major projects, 4 or 5 major projects, and quite frankly, they didn't solve the problem a lot better than it did there since the original construction. I think we get good service out from them. They are, in my opinion, very ethical, very well qualified to do the work.
What projects did they do that they were clerk of the works?
Well, it was considered construction administration. They first they did called Pipes Roof, they did Ebner Roof, they did the
Ebner Flashing.
brick facade at Ebner.
So that basically what they did, they designed something, and they fixed something. They weren't actually clerk of the works, correct?
They acted as in construction administration, so they were inspecting the work, they were processing the financials,
Okay.
they were conducting meetings, they were keeping all the documentation, doing document distribution, etc.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion?
You know, I must say, being at the football games at Mansion Park, a lot of compliments on the handrails. And it was a long time coming, but we got them, and I'd say people come out of the way, go out of the way and come up and say thank you. Lights look good. Lights looks pretty good out there.
I want to thank everybody for sharing, because I got comments from Kelly, I got comments from Ronnie, I got comments from almost every board member that they had heard positive things and a lot of positive feedback from the public. I know, quite frankly, that I find the handrails make it a heck of a lot easier, let alone, if I had weaker knees to make that climb.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, those in favor of approving those items, respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Old business, we have one item, A, the retention bonus clarification language. Is there a motion on that item? Is there a motion? Rob makes a motion. Is there a second? Kelly seconds. Discussion. Okay, hearing none. Those in favor, respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Okay. New business. We have childhood cancer awareness sculpture at Mansion Park. You want to tell us what that is, Dr. Prieto?
The Don Morton Foundation approached us about erecting a welded steel structure, or a steel sculpture that would be completed by Fox Chapel Ironworks. It's a 5-foot gold ribbon to recognize the district's support in our continual fight against childhood cancer. This has been reviewed by committee. It's also been reviewed by the solicitor. Everybody finds that it's appropriate. It makes a lot of sense considering our extended role with the Morton Foundation and the working towards the elimination of childhood cancer.
Is there a motion on that item? Is there a second? Discussion? I personally knew Dawn Morton as a teacher in our district, and she did a very nice job as a teacher, and she certainly dedicated her life towards fighting childhood cancer. And I think, this is a small way of the community remembering her. She was quite the person. Okay, any other discussion? Okay, those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, number 11, committee reports. Any committee chair reports? Board president report? Superintendent report?
None for tonight.
Okay, Ms. Ventry.
Good evening. I'd like to take a moment to mention some current and upcoming events happening in the Altoona Area School District. School is now in session, fall sports are completely underway, and our teams are having successful seasons so far. The high school had its first pep rally in years, which recognized all fall sports teams and encouraged students to have school spirit and support their peers. AAHS Mountain Lion Television had begun working with Fox 8 and ABC 23 on a weekly sports show called The Zone with Referee Rich, which airs the following Fox News at 10:30 on Friday nights. This gives broadcasting students real-world experience working with and learning from professionals. Also in the high school, the junior and senior class are actively fundraising to raise money for this and next year's prom. They are selling Mariana's hoagies and pizzas to those interested. Students are also preparing for this year's homecoming events. Teams are actively being put together to participate in theme week, games nights, the dance, and the football game on Friday, October 1st, where the homecoming royal will be crowned. In an attempt to bring school and student life back to the level it was years prior, more strict rules are being put in place. Dress code, including the wearing of IDs in the high school, is being closely monitored and regulated. Attendance is being closely monitored as well, and illegal absences will result in demerits preventing students from attending school functions. Let's continue to support all fall extracurricular activities and keep the schools running smoothly. Thank you.
Can I ask for one clarification?
Yes.
What was the name of the TV show again that our Mountain Lion TV is part of?
The Zone with Referee Rich.
The Zone with Referee Rich.
Yes.
Thank you. That's Friday nights. What's the channel again?
Fox 8.
Thank you.
Okay, for information only, we have the Facilities Committee meeting summaries of June 16th and July 22nd. Other comments? Do we have an employee unions response? Middle management response? Solicitor?
No report this evening.
Okay, those are all the items on the agenda. Do we have a motion for adjournment? Is there a second? All in favor? Respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.